The lesson chosen is an assessment for the class. The class is divided into groups of 4 students who have to learn an economic policy: fiscal policy, monetary policy, supply side, and international policy. The students are to give a 1 to 2 minute speech that covers the state of the economy today, 4 goals on where they want the economy to be in the future, and how they will get there by their economic solutions. The class is required to ask each group questions. The focal point for the groups in front of the class is to answer the class questions. I want the students to take the information they've learned, synthesize it, and come up with new ideas. The students have to think on their feet and critically think about their questions and answers. The speeches are a review for the final. The students have been working on this assignment for the last month. I've worked on the class environment for the past year. I've worked to create a safe, open learning environment. We've all learned and grown together for the past year. Get their papers out. Make sure the yearbooks are away. I really want to see them away. Also make sure cell phones are away. This is the last presentation that we've got. And then we're going to have our final tomorrow. The final will be 86 questions. So I want to go over some things, go over some questions that you might have. So, number 1. When GDP goes up, what happens to unemployment? So when GDP goes up 2%, what happens to unemployment? Goes down 1%. Good. Now a tough question, but it's all related. When GDP goes up any percent, what other things happen? So what goes up? Inflation goes up. So prices go up. How many district banks are there?
25, right?
Please don't guess. Please, thank you, it's 12. Trust me, if you're throwing out a number, you're going to remember that number tomorrow. And you're going to say, oh, I heard that yesterday, must be right. Don't remember the wrong number. So it's 12 district banks. How many branch banks? 25 is correct. So we have information on the Federal Reserve. The next part. Who is hurt by inflation? No, that is not a correct answer. It is not an answer that I want to hear. It is not everybody. Consumers. Consumers. Not government. Corporations. Businesses would be hurt, and they would be hurt twice. They would hurt by lower sales and by less profit. Another group. Any other groups? Anybody that's on a fixed income? Anybody that maybe lends money, so creditors? People that are investors, savers, are hurt by inflation. Let's see. What types of inflation are there? There are 3 types of inflation. This is all going to be on the final, so if you don't know it, you need to write it down, make sure you have it. This could be your only review that you might be looking at this. 3 types of inflation. What's the one currently right now going on with gas prices? The recession, the gas prices one is called profit push. Profit push. We had a CEO of the oil company, Exxon, who basically said if we had oil prices based on supply and demand, based on just market forces, the price of gasoline would be about $2.30. All the rest is speculators. All the rest is people driving up the price. Supply and demand is very low. Supply is high, demand is low, so prices should be a lot lower. Another type of inflation is profit push, cost push, demand pull. Can anyone tell me what unemployment is? You've been talking about in all speeches. What's unemployment, or who might be unemployed? Yes?
People 16 years old that can't find a job.
And the key is?
And are looking.
No, you got that part. They don't have a job. So they're looking, they're 16, and they don't have a job. So that's great. So what are different types of unemployment?
Isn't there like long-term unemployment kind of thing? Like,
There's chronically unemployed, yes. There's people that have been unemployed for, like, right now going on 2 years. But I'm looking at a type of unemployment, say,
disability?
say Robert quits. What type of unemployment is that? It's called frictional unemployment. These are reviews. This is what we're going over. That's frictional unemployment. We have structural unemployment. That means that Preston loses a job forever. He's an auto worker. We don't make cars in the United States anymore. And seriously, Detroit, they're hoping car industry comes back. It never will. So, I mean, they're sitting there waiting for the car industry, and it's gone. I told First Period, they had a great idea for their speech was they were going to try to get rid of vacant houses and get rid of vacant businesses, and they were going to give a tax incentive to people to buy broken down buildings. And I'm like, well, guess what? Anyone here in this house, in this room, can buy a house in Detroit right now for $500. You can buy it for $1,000. The price doesn't matter. Nobody's living there, there's no jobs. So you can go to Detroit and get a real cheap house, but sorry, nobody really wants to. There's no job there, there's no reason to. People are living. So that's a big incentive. I've heard that one Saturday, about 2 years ago, they were giving property away for free. People weren't taking it. They weren't taking it because who wants to live in Detroit? They've actually lost more people that's in Phoenix right now that comes in. They're losing millions of people in there. Other types of unemployment, cyclical, structural, seasonal. This is the last speech. Be respectful. It's the reason why I want the earbooks away, I want the cell phones away. Be respectful. They've been respectful for you. They've gone through all of your speeches. They've done and asked questions on your speeches. I want to let you know that I haven't put enough grades for this because I'm waiting for everybody's questions. I'm going to calculate the questions, read the notes, look at the notes there, and then give you an overall final grade. I will tell you there's lots of people that their grade has changed since they gave their speech. I have a lot of people that have asked questions, their grade's gone up. Other people have missed the day, skipped, and just done whatever, the grade goes down. So this is your last time. This is your last time to show me what you know in your questions and help them out with asking lots of questions. So I'm going to probably have a longer time frame for you to ask questions. I will ask some questions, but I want you guys to get your grade up as much as possible.
3 now is what you're saying, so go down to 20%. Show me where you've been. How far? 20. Okay. What would happen to revenues, government revenues, if you cut taxes? Look at the graph. Look at the graph. And you had the correct spot in the correct place. So you went from point A to point B. What happens to revenues? Look at the revenue side, and did it go up or down? It went down. Just in general.